Minnesota has become ground zero for government incompetence, waste, fraud, and abuse. And if we lived in a sensible society, the people running that state would be removed from power permanently. Over the past few weeks, the Somali fraud story started off at around $1 billion, right? And that was bad enough. That quickly became billions. And then yesterday, that number skyrocketed. The U.S. attorney in Minnesota talking about a completely different scheme here, announcing state programs were targeted with fraud, and the state is absolutely swamped with these crimes, he says. The feds believe a significant amount of the $18 billion paid out by Medicaid to Minnesota programs was fraudulent. Prosecutors believe it could be as much as half of that $18 billion. So that's $9 billion more added to the already billions we've seen. Added up, you're getting close to potentially $20 billion in potential fraud, a huge sum of that, much of that stolen by Somalian refugees, people who begged for their lives to be allowed into your country and then thanked you by stealing a tremendous amount of money. Now, we're talking 15, 20 billion, right? For reference, the entire gross domestic product of the nation of Somalia annually is $12 billion. It is one of the most ridiculous stories I have seen after doing news for 20 years. Here's the U.S. Attorney for Minnesota describing the absolute scale of this operation.
Minnesotans and taxpayers deserve to know the truth of the fraud. The fraud is not small. It isn't isolated. The magnitude cannot be overstated. What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud.
A staggering industrial scale fraud. Minnesota and the people who run the state are now the picture of total failure. And there they are right there. And guess which political party they all pledge allegiance to? These are the most incompetent, corrupt, pathetic people in American politics. That's an abysmal picture. That picture is terrifying. They have allowed billions of dollars to be stolen from the American people, not just Minnesotans, but from the American people. Billions and billions of dollars stolen because of the people right there on your screen.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt Tonight on Newsmax.